time for The Pet Show with America's favorite pet expert, Warren Eckstein. Warren is the author of How to Get Your Cat to Do What You Want and How to Get Your Dog to Do What You Want. He's here to answer all your pet and animal questions. And now, Warren Eckstein.
Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to The Pet Show. Is your bulldog acting a little bashful? Does your tabby have you totally terrified? Are you being challenged by your chihuahuas? Well, if you love animals, care about wildlife and the environment, and want to really learn to understand your dogs and cats, how they think, as well as they understand your behavior, if you're confused about your dog or cat's behavior or just want to improve their lifestyle, you know what to do. Stay tuned, because once again, right here, right now, it is time for The Pet Show. America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, pet behavior, and of course, pet lifestyle show. So hop up on my couch. Bring those furry little buddies with you, folks. It is that time once again to let the animal analyzing begin. Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show, the place where we absolutely, positively, never a doubt about it, love, adore, and as I stress every single week, respect pets and animals as much as you do. By the way, if you want to find out why your dog or cat is behaving a certain way, or just want to understand their behavior, want to resolve an issue, they're jumping, they're humping, they're digging, they're scratching, your cat hates the new cat that's coming into the household, your cat peed on your bed, refuses to use the litter box, your dog has separate, you get the idea. That's what we do here on The Pet Show. If you have a question or a comment or just want to share a great story about your pet, great time to give me a call. Let me just remind everyone, if you happen to be a new listener to The Pet Show, well, welcome aboard. Everyone that calls into the show and has the opportunity to ask me a question or give me a story live on the air will today be getting an absolutely positively amazing gift. And not for you, but for that beautiful dog. And if you're new to the show, it's not like I'm giving away biscuits. Many of the items we give away are $25, $35, $45, even $50. So everyone that calls into the show gets to talk to me live on the air, even if to just answer my question, which I'll share with you in a bit, will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. By the way, I will take a couple of questions on YouTube. We're broadcasting live on YouTube. It's, been going on, I guess we're doing about 6 months, 8 months now. You can go directly to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, and maybe if we have some time, I'll take some questions from YouTube as well. The phone number here at The Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. As I said, plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away as well on the Pet Show. I grew up, and Mother's Day is tomorrow, and my mother was absolutely one of the most amazing people I knew. Let's face it, she put up with me. I might have had rats and snakes and God knows what else was in my room. But the one thing that genetically that I got from my mother is the amazing love, care, and concern for all living things. If there was a bird outside that was injured, if there was a stray dog in the neighborhood, a stray cat in the neighborhood, my mother was there. As a matter of fact, when I got older and I started getting involved in what I was doing, I actually had as many as 10 or 12 rescue dogs in her garage at the time. So on this Mother's Day, Mom, I know you're up in heaven, and I know the dogs up there are not overweight. I know they're just big bone. That's what you always told me. So anyway, hugs and kisses to you, and hugs and kisses to all those pets up there. I know you're taken care of. The phone number here at The Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let me tell you what I have planned for today's show, but I'm not going to get to all my subjects. Just another reason you should follow my YouTube channel, because whatever subjects I don't get to hear will be posted on YouTube as soon as we get off the air. But here's what I'd like to talk about today. Wanted to do it last week, didn't have time. Can your dog or cat's behavior, their behavior, actually impact your quality of life? Do you occasionally have conflicts with your dogs, arguments with your cats? The relationship can be complex. I'll explain coming up a little bit later. And if you have a complex relationship with your pet, I'd love to hear from you guys as well. Also coming up on today's show, do your cats love their catnip? Does it make them feel good? Well, let me tell you, folks, there's more to catnip than the buzz. So if your cat is lying on his back listening to the doors or watching a lava lamp, we're going to go over that a little bit later. Cats are smarter than we are. There's more to catnip than just giving them a buzz. We'll talk about that a little bit later on the show. And so many of my listeners have rescued their dogs, and many of them may be fearful or anxious due to previous abuse or neglect. Coming up on the show today, resolving anxiety and fear usually falls into two categories. I'll share those two categories. I know you hear all these different, well, the dog is this, the dog is that. Kind of basically, it comes down to two specific categories. I'll share those with you a little bit later. Plenty of time for your calls, lots of great stuff to give away. So if your pet is chewing, jumping, confused about the litter box, maybe that rescued dog isn't housebroken, poor dog was abused, suffering with separation anxiety, that feral cat's depressed, your dog is chasing anything that moves, cat scratched your favorite chair, dog's humping everything he sees and a few things he doesn't. Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA. Here's the question of the day. I was thinking about this the other day. I probably, in my life, have always accommodated or made accommodations for my pets within my household. I did this, I did that, and I looked at it from their perspective. So I want to ask you this. Do you adjust your life to accommodate your pets? Do you adjust your life to accommodate your pets? Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. 866-870-KRLA. That is the phone number. Someone called me a pet relationship counselor. I've been called everything: trainer, behaviorist, psychologist, whatever, but now I'm a pet relationship counselor. I love that term. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Coming up a little bit later, I am going to be doing next week on the Pet Show something I have never, ever done before. It's going to be an incredibly special show. I'll be broadcasting from a different location. I'll talk about that a little bit later, but it's a show if you love your dogs, if you love your cats, and you really want to understand what you feed them, you're not going to want to miss next week's show. We'll talk about that a little bit later. 866-870-KRLA. I'm going to take a call right off the bat. Eileen's calling, and let me tell you why I'm going to Eileen. Eileen sent me an email this week, and I felt that I needed to get more information to help her resolve the issue with the dog. So let me go directly to Eileen from the beautiful Pacific Palisades. Hi, Eileen. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi, Warren.
So tell me a little bit about your dog. I know you sent me a note. In fact, you sent me some great photos. What a cutie. But tell me a little bit about what you may or may not know about the dog's background, how old he is, or what type of dog he is. Just give me that basic info.
So he came to me from Southern California Samoyed Rescue, and I only picked him up this Thursday. And so they had no information. He was a stray, and they rescued him from a shelter. So he's been with the Pet Hotel and a vet down in Garden Grove for about 5 weeks. He's maybe 4 years old. He could be a Samoyed or a Samoyed mix. He seems to be healthy. He's had training, so he knows all basic commands. He's actually pretty good on a leash, which with Samoyeds can be an issue. He is alert. He greets people. He gets overly excited when he sees other dogs.
Sounds like you're living with Rin Tin Tin. What's the problem?
Well, he's a rescue, so I've been down this path before. He seemed hesitant when we first came. We walked around the property. I live in an HOA in a townhouse, so we walked around the property. There were stairs. He hesitated at the stairs going down to the lawn, but he did it and he went back up. But then when I brought him into the garage and closed the door, I left him there for a little while, sat with him, and took it slow. But by the end of the day, I thought, well, I want to walk him upstairs now into the house and move him around, on a leash around the rooms. He just laid down at the bottom of the stairs. Would not go up.
So from what I'm gathering and what you sent me, basically we have the smiling dog of the north, the Samoyed, right? We have this beautiful dog, but your main concern right now is going up and down the steps. Lots of things can go on here. We don't know what this dog's been through before. We don't know if he never lived with steps in the past. We don't know if he was abused going up or down the steps, if he was tossed up and down the steps, if he fell down the steps. We have no idea about that. So we're going to assume I am starting here with a dog that has never seen a staircase in its entire life. There's a lot of things you need to do. Number one is you just need to sit on the bottom step with the dog. Don't encourage him to go up. Just sit on the bottom step. Put some treats on it. Don't even make him go up. Don't even attempt to go up. Just sit there. Let him associate something very positive, not going up the steps, just being near the steps. That's number one. Obviously, a lot of encouragement is involved. So here's a recommendation. I want you to tell me about your staircase. I'm assuming it's a closed back staircase because it's in your home, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
There's actually three. One is closed in that comes up from the garage. The rest are open with railings.
Okay, but a lot of dogs, just so you know, a lot of dogs freak out with open back steps. They don't get that concept. So let's start on this. Go ahead.
It's not an open back step. It's more that it's an open area so they can see through
I see. Okay.
side rail. Yeah.
All right, so let's start on this step first of all, okay? Number one is we want to start getting the dog's confidence, as I said, just sitting there. What I'm going to recommend that you do, and I'm going to ask you this right now, on your stairs, what kind of material is there? Are there carpets on? Is it wood? Is it tile? What's the bottom line on your staircase?
It's wood.
Okay. Very often, when a dog is first exposed to stairs, they feel slippery. They don't feel comfortable. So what I'm going to recommend you do, it's not expensive. I want you to go to a Home Depot. I want you to go to a Lowe's. I know there's a great hardware store in the Palisades you can go to. They probably have it as well. I want you to get some of those staircase pads. I'm looking for the right term. What are they called?
Treads. Stair treads.
Tread. There you go. Why don't you take the microphone? I'll get on the other.
I actually looked at the Home Depot website last night to see whether they sold something like that. I wasn't even aware of it.
Yeah. So in other words, what I want you to do is I don't want you to flood the entire staircase. I just want you to take the first two steps and put the treads on them. I have treads on all my staircases for my dogs. Molly and Willie, God knows what they came from, a little fearful of steps. So basically what I'm telling you to do is what I had to do with my own guys. Just sit on the bottom step. You can take his 2 feet, place it on the front step, just sit there, let him go down. Then what I want you to do, if he feels comfortable on that step, I want you to move up to the second step. That's all I want you to do. Let him go up, let him come down. The more difficult part is once a dog realizes that he can come down the steps, it's a lot more comfortable for them to go up the steps. Right now, going up the steps, they can't realize how they're going to get down. So number one, I want you to try the pads. Number two, what I want you to do is take some of his favorite treats, even if you have to make him a sandwich, I don't care, on the stairs as well. The other thing I'm going to recommend is if you can get him on that second step, if you can have another person in your home that's close to the dog or a friend, have them call the dog so he learns to go up and down, up and down, up and down. I think part of it is that in the past he's never been exposed to stairs. I don't think this is going to happen overnight, but let me tell you right off the bat, having dogs fearful of stairs, having dogs taught to go up and down stairs is something I've been dealing with for well over 45 years. I'll give you an example. When I lived in New York City, many of my clients, a lot of my clients were pretty affluent, and they lived in these great brownstone homes on the Upper East Side or the Upper West Side, and they had staircases, and the dogs, a lot of my listeners either adopted their dogs, or even when they got them as puppies, had a similar situation. The most important thing you need to remember is never, ever, ever lose your patience. Get him on the first step, let him come down. Once he's comfortable there, move on to the second step. So it's going to take a lot of patience. We need to really build up his confidence and a tremendous amount of encouragement. That all being said, I have never met a dog, unless there was some physical ailment, that I could not get to feel comfortable going up and down the steps. But you got to do it at his pace. Once he gets it, you're going to say, hey, Warren, I believe dogs drive me crazy. He's running up and down the steps. He's driving me nuts. I want you to do it a little bit at a time. Take my word for it, it's going to work. Even if it's just a matter of you sitting on the steps for 5 or 10 minutes with him every day, I promise you, as that goes up. I don't know, maybe he was kicked out of a house. Maybe he was kicked down his steps. Maybe that's why he was astray. Maybe he was coming down a steps and someone yelled us. We don't know, a loud noise. So we don't know the background. So what we're going to do is we're going to start as if this was a puppy. He's never been up and down steps, and we're going to start doing that gradually and reintroducing him as he was young. And I want you to, stay in touch with me, because you're going to get frustrated sometimes, but the bottom line is it will happen if you're patient, You encourage the dog, you reward the dog, and you build up his confidence. Those are the steps you need to do.
Well, thank you. I think he's already, the one thing is, he will, if I leave the door open, he stands there very expectantly. I mean, he's interested to know what's going on upstairs, so that's a positive. I was able to bring him around through the front door into the living room, and if I move up the flight of stairs to the next level, so it's about 6 steps, he stands there alertly watching, to see where I've gone. I mean, I go out of sight to the kitchen or whatever. This morning when I came back, and it was only gone about a minute, he had walked over and was standing on the couch so that he had a better view of what was going on.
Well, so then, and you've only had him since Thursday, so let's
right.
give, it takes a while. It takes them a while to decompress. Give them the opportunity to decompress. Another thing on my part, it's very possible in a previous home where he lived, I know I got to take a break, Alex. In a previous home where he lived, maybe he was not allowed to go up the steps. Maybe when he went up the steps, he was yelled at or corrected, get downstairs. There are people like that don't allow their dogs up to a second floor. And so therefore, it might have been that he was corrected for doing that, and now we have to kind of count the condition and let him know the steps are a good place, not a bad place. Follow through on what I suggested. I'm sure it's going to work for you little by little. Stay in touch when you have a problem that's going up the steps too much for you. How's that sound, Eileen?
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Oh, my pleasure. Don't go in. I'm going to put you on hold. And just to make sure those hips and joints stay in the best shape ever, I am going to send you a jar of my own hugs and kisses for your beautiful dog. Give that Samoyed a big hug and a kiss, the smiling dog of the North. Hey, great time to give me a call. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'll give you a list of what I'm giving away in just a little bit, but the question of the day is pretty simple, guys. The question of the day is, do you adjust your life to accommodate your pets? I do. Maybe I'm a little eccentric, but I do. Do you adjust your life to accommodate your dogs and cats? Leave a meeting early, leave a little later. Give me a call, let me know. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Hey, listen, if you're not feeding your dogs Lucy pet food, don't blame And we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. The phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Got a question, want to brag about your dog, want to tell me about this great rescue dog or cat you recently got. I always advocate for that because every time I get a call from a listener that's rescued a dog or cat, it encourages other listeners to do the same thing. So if you have a great dog or cat you just rescued, great time to call me. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA. Let me give you a list of what I'm going to be giving away to you guys today because it's absolutely amazing. You just heard me give away my own Hugs and Kisses vitamin mineral supplement treats. I'll be giving away Lucy pet food. I'll be giving away kitty lickies. I'll be giving away Arthur-Soothe Gold. I'll be giving away my best-selling books. I'll be giving away Lucy pet food t-shirts, all natural flea spray. If you have a dog that's scooting his butt on the ground, I got some special stuff for that. I got anti-lick paw spray, hot spot foam, allergy aid soft chews, cranberry. I got everything. Lots of great stuff to give away. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Hey, just before I get back to the phone lines here, I can't imagine, as a pet guardian, the thought of losing a dog or cat is absolutely heart-wrenching. But here's the but, folks. But what if modern-day technology could help you locate lost pets faster than ever before? That's exactly what's happening thanks to the use of drones with heat-seeking technology. There was recently a rescue group that was devastated by the amount of dogs being lost. They had this company with a high-tech drone with thermal imaging, and they were able to relocate 12 dogs and get them back to the people they belong to. I think it's a great idea. There's got to be someone doing it in Southern California. Maybe I just don't know about it yet. But the use of drones, they're being used for a lot of different things that I may not agree with, but this one I do. Using high-tech drones with thermal imaging help to find lost dogs and lost cats. What a great idea. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go over to Mary in Glendale. Hey, Mary, welcome to the show.
Hi, Mr. Eckstein. We talked a couple weeks ago about my cat, Sapphire, who's been shedding for the past year and a half every day. And I received your gift in kind, but what came was hugs and kisses for dogs.
Instead of cats. Instead of cats, right?
It should have been for my cat, Sapphire.
Okay, so let's do this. What I want you to do is you can take the jar of the Hugs and Kisses for Dogs, donate it to a rescue, give it to your groomer. I see that's up there. And then call my office on Monday. You'll speak to Julie, or you'll speak to, probably Julie, and 1-800-430 and the word HUGS, 1-800-430-HUGS, and she'll check our list, and we will send you a jar of cat treats for your cat. How's that?
Okay. Could you repeat that number again? 1-800-430.
430 and
yes.
the word HUGS, HUGS. That's HUGS.
Okay, I'll do that. And I have a wonderful neighbor, Max Grooming for Dogs, right next door to me. And I thought this might be a great opportunity to introduce your Hugs and Kisses to my neighbor, Melissa, who's a wonderful neighbor.
Well, you do that. You can donate to him. I got on a hard break here. You could donate to them, but what I want you to do is I want you to let me just think. You know what? I want you to call the office on actually, we're closed on Monday. Call on Tuesday. If we don't get back to you right away, we'll get back to you in a day or so. We'll make sure we resolve that. And I appreciate that phone call. Donate that other jar. And thank you so much, Mary. You still with me, Mary? I thought Mary disappeared. What happened to Mary? Mary's gone. Gosh. Phone number here at the Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I don't know if I should take another call right now or Alex take a break, and this way I'll catch up and I won't have to worry about it. Yeah, let me do this. I'm going to take another break. Renee, we're going to get to you. Sevier will get to you as well from Pacoima. Great time to give me a call, though. The question of the day is, do you adjust your life to accommodate your dogs and your cats? I know you do. Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you. If you get through, a great gift will be on its way. today. Plenty of time for your calls. Still coming up on today's show. Some really interesting things. Catnip. A lot of people just think, well, we'll give our cats catnip and they get a buzz and they enjoy it. There's a lot more to it. And once again, I will prove to you that your cats are probably a whole lot smarter than you. Also coming up, the 2 things you need to know about resolving anxiety and stress in your dogs. Plenty of time for your calls. Lots of pretty amazing stuff to give away, as I just read. The phone number 866-870 KRLA 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. What a great call to start the show with a from Eileen that rescued that Samoyed. I'm a big fan of Samoyeds. Just a great dog. One of the true American breeds, actually named after Samoyed Native Americans. In, I think it was Canada or Alaska, somewhere up there. Anyway, beautiful, beautiful dogs, also known as the smiling dog of the North. Actually, somewhere in my archives, I have a pair of gloves and a hat that are made of Samoyed hair. Wait a second, Warren, he's not going to be abusive. What they do is they brush them, they save the hair, and they send the hair to someone who spins fur for a living, and she made me gloves and the hat. I don't think I've ever worn them. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break, then we'll get back to your calls. Plenty of time to all of you. Again, if you want to ask me a question on YouTube, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. You should subscribe. It's free. It's amazing how much information I share there every single day. But right now, I want to tell you about my friend Little doggy salsa here on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. That phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I am excited. I am thrilled. But why can't we do it here? England has banned the use of remote electronic shock collars on dogs. Did you hear me? England has banned the use of remote electronic shock collars on dogs. The Kennel Club in England said that campaigners welcome news for animal welfare. They say shock collars can deliver electric shocks to a dog's neck via a remote control for up to 11 seconds at a time from up to 2 miles away, meaning dogs who can't even see their guardians still will get shocked. Shock collars, by the way, were banned in Wales 13 years ago, also banned in France in 1923. Come on, guys, let's ban them here as well. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. Shock collars just freak me out. It's kind of like all of a sudden it's like if I didn't eat my breakfast and I'm sitting in class and my mother's at the house and all of a sudden I feel a whack on my butt. Where did it come from? Why is it coming? What did I do? Now, electronic shock collars, call me old school, but a hug and a kiss and some good, consistent, basic training can make all the difference in the world. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let's go to, plenty of call. Let's go to Renee, calling from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Renee, how are you?
Hey. Okay, so I take care of a lot of pets. I'm taking care of someone's black lab mix and a Yorkshire Terrier Chihuahua mix, and so about chickens and roosters. But the dog is the issue as far as the black dog, that's the lab. Anytime she walks by you, she has to just stick her tongue out and lick your leg, no matter what.
And the problem is?
It's such a shocker because all of a sudden you're standing there and all of a sudden something gets your leg. But I'm trying to figure out what is behind that.
You know, generally when a dog licks, it could be one of two things. Usually they lick if they're feeling a little stressed or feeling a little insecure or a little anxious. Now, I know you're this loving lady with this loving dog, but I don't know if this was a rescue dog or whatever, but I think when he walks by you and that lick is just a sign of making himself feel more confident and more secure. Very often when a dog is first rescued, some of the dogs I've taken out of dog fight rings and other things over the past, it would take me weeks and weeks. They would just lick constantly, because the licking even of themselves, which can develop into problems or obsessive compulsive, what that really is, it's a way of them alleviating stress. A dog's licking is kind of like you or me biting our nails or cracking our knuckles or scratching our head.
Yeah, and she just does that one lick.
That's all. No, it's just a way of going by, saying, you know what, here I am, and I might feel a dropping insecure, but I'm going to give you a lick. It's going to make you feel better. It's going to make me feel better. And who doesn't want to get kissed by their dog anyway? Come on now.
Okay. Well, do you have time for a second question about something else at the house?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So these are two female dogs, and I'll just try to be as delicate as I can. But
don't even say it. Whoa. They're humping each other.
Well, no, it's not so much that. It's that one of them goes to the other private parts with their mouth, and it's just insane. It's just all of a sudden one of them gets incredibly fired up and have to just separate them instantly. It's insane.
Are they all? I'm assuming they're all spayed.
Spayed, right? Both spayed. And
now, is it possible? Is it possible that the dog that is being licked by the other dog? Is it possible that the anal glands need to be expressed?
I guess it's possible.
Yeah, I'm telling you, that's what it is. There's no doubt in my mind that's what it is. When you have a dog, you know, whether it be a male or female, it makes no difference. When you have a dog going to that specific that area and they're licking, generally speaking, it's involving something, and it's very possible that it's the anal gland. My own guy, Molly, I mean, I have to have her anal glands. I used to do it myself, but those days are gone, guys. I've done enough anal glands in my life that I never want to do another one. So yeah, but Molly is one of those dogs that every once in a while has to have the anal glands. And when the anal glands are not expressed, then Willie, that little snot, will go behind her and start sniffing in that area a little too much. Well,
okay, well, maybe that's it, because that's quite a sight to behold.
That's what it sounds like to me. So
okay, well, thank you for your help.
Yeah, oh, my pleasure. You can post. I know that we sent you a gift in the past. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop you, and I'm going to send your gift to a local rescue. Hey, great time to give me a call. You got a couple of lines open, pretty rare here on the Pet Show. And as I said, I got hugs and kisses to give away, Authors of Gold, Lucy Pet Food. Many of the items I give away, as I said, are worth as much as $50. If you have a question or a comment, or just want to answer my question, do our pets adjust, or do you adjust to your accommodate your pets? So give me a call. Let me know. The phone number 866-870 KRLA 866-870-5752. That is the way to get through. I'm going to go. You know what? I'm going to get to you in a second. Xavier and Pacoima, I want to get to your call. Kathy and Winnetka, I want to get to your call. Let me just tell you what my computer says about Xavier's call. His Frenchie makes a depressed face after their walks. We're going to talk. I'm not laughing at you, I promise, Xavier. Well, maybe I am laughing at you. We'll take your call in a little bit. The phone number, 866-870 KRLA, 866-870-5752. You know, I just want to share this with you. The first call of the day, you heard me talk to one of my listeners, Eileen, who rescued this beautiful Samoyed, right? So here's the bottom line. So many of my listeners have rescued dogs and rescued cats, but I want you to listen carefully. You know, behavioral training for anxious or fearful dogs usually falls into just two categories. I don't care what you've heard in the past. Generally speaking, if you have a dog that's anxious or fearful, it usually falls into one of two categories. I broke them down for you. I've written about this extensively when I was in Europe, even here. Desensitizing the dog to the thing that scares them is also known as desensitization. That's the number one thing. If you have a dog that is fearful of something, whether it be sound, whether it be a person, whether it be just a dog, whether it be a car, whether it be a motorcycle, you need to desensitize. How do you desensitize a dog to it? Gradually. So if you have an anxious dog, or if you have a dog that's really fearful, desensitize them gradually. That's the number one thing to do. Number two, finding that things that the trigger point, finding what's making your dog fearful, then training them to react differently to it. How many times have you heard me use the word here, counter conditioning? So the two things to resolve either fearful behavior or anxious behavior are desensitization or counter conditioning. Those are the two things that everyone needs to know. Very often overlooked. Oh, if the dog is doing this and the dog is fearful, do this. If the dog is anxious, do this. Two things. Desensitize the dog, number one. Figure out what's causing the fear or anxiety, number two. And use counter conditioning. So when a dog would normally react in a bad way to something, we need to make that situation different so the dog now reacts in a positive way. Little by little, take it from me, it will make all the difference in the world. Again, that number 866-870 KRLA 866-870-5752. Let me take a break. When we come back, Xavier, you'll be next. Kathy, you'll be right on top of that. Great time to call me. Still lots of great stuff to give away. You guys are not being honest with me. I know you're not being honest with me. Come on. You don't adjust your life to accommodate your pets. You don't leave a meeting early. You don't leave dinner early. You say, I'm not going to be able to go. Come on now. We all make accommodations for our pets. Don't be embarrassed. Give me a call. Let me know if you're one of those people like me that always changes things around to make sure their dogs are comfortable, and I will send you a super gift. 866-870-5752, 866-870 KRLA. That is the way to do. How many people have decided to have a staycation because they didn't want to leave their dog, or they only go in a place where the dog can go with them? Come on, give me a call. You know who you are. I'm looking at you right now. 866-870-5752. Let me take a quick break, and then we'll get right back to all your calls. And we are back on the Pet Show on Warren Eckstein. Xavier, I'm going to get to you in just a second. Let me just jump over to Shelley first. Then we got Debbie and Kathy. But right now, let me go to Shelley calling from Beverly Hills. Hey, Shelley, welcome to the show.
Oh, hi, Warren. How are you?
I am doing great. I hope you're doing as well.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you. And to answer your question, yes, I definitely accommodate my lifestyle to my doggies.
How many doggies do you have? How many dogs do you have?
I have three. I have three golden retrievers.
Gosh,
so
3 goldens. They must be gorgeous.
Wherever I am, I will go and take them for walks, dog park, feeding time, and that's it.
So basically what you're saying is that your dogs have you as a pet.
Exactly. Yes, that's it.
There you go.
They sure do.
There you go. So what's your question? Go ahead.
I think that's part of my question today, Warren. I have my 4-year-old Golden. She's a female, and always on walks, she jumps up and tries to get the handle of her leash. Even my other 2 dogs, she'll try to jump up, grab their leash in her mouth, and I've tried off, no, and then she'll bark to get the leash. Even at a dog park, when all my dogs are off leashes and it's time to leave, and I put the leash on her, does the same thing.
Well, shame on Shelley. Let me tell you what's going on. There are certain dogs. There are certain dogs that need to have something in their mouth to feel comfortable. When they're anxious, when they're excited, whether it be positive or negative, they need to have something in their mouth. That's why so many dogs, when they go out for their walk, I see it all the time in my neighborhood where the dog's grabbing the end of the leash and the guardian's trying to walk the dog. What I would recommend that you do, we're not going to tell her no, we're not going to stop her. Everything you did is totally wrong. We're not going to say no. The dog wants to calm herself down. She needs something in her mouth, and you're telling her no. Shame on you, Shelley. What I want you to do is find something, whatever that something may be, a tennis ball, I don't care, a rag, a sock, I don't care, underwear, whatever you want. But she only gets that when you're taking her out for a walk. So now she has this one thing in her mouth. She's excited, looking forward to it, and she will start to walk, and you won't have to worry about her grabbing the other dog's leashes.
Okay, because I give her the smaller leash to put in her mouth.
Well, then you're reinforcing. No, you're reinforcing it. That's like my mother said, Warren, you can't have the big piece of chocolate, but here's a little piece. Eventually, I'm going to get that big piece. So the bottom line is what you're doing is you're reinforcing that behavior. Dogs are way too smart for the people they live with. What I want you to do is find an item, a tennis ball, something, whatever it may be, and I want you to use that as a way to distract it. When I was training a very, very famous person in New York many years ago, his dogs came from Malibu to New York City, and the dog was crazed in New York City but felt uncomfortable unless it was carrying something. Very similar problem with the leash. What I did is I found the specific item, and what I did is whenever the dog went out for a walk, he got that item, he would walk real proud with it in his mouth, and the stopping of the biting of the leash. So that's what you need to do, Shelley.
Okay, so in other words, when she starts jumping and trying to get the handle of the leash, I'll just take out a tennis ball.
No, Shelley, no. God, you're going to make my hair fall out. Listen to me. If she jumps up at that point and then you give her the tennis ball, you're rewarding the fact that she jumped up. So she jumped up, something you don't want her to do, and then you're saying, good girl, here's your tennis ball.
Okay.
Give her the ball before you go for the walk, is just as you're walking out of the house. Man, do I love my job. just before you walk out of the house, give it to her.
Okay, got it. I'm going to do it this afternoon.
Well, there you go. And it's not going to happen overnight, I promise you. It'll take a little bit of time, but I'm sure you don't have the only weird dog walking around in Beverly Hills today. 3 golden retrievers. My goodness, God. Great dog.
I do. 9 years old, 4 years old, and 16 months.
Send me a photo to mail@warreneckstein.com. I'd love to see a picture of them.
Okay, I will. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you you got 3 golden retrievers. So I'm going to send you a jar of my Hugs and Kisses supplement, okay? We're going to keep those dogs happy. We're going to keep them healthy, keep them no more shedding. On its way to you. I appreciate that phone call. Oh, God, I'm dying to get to your call, Xavier. You know, I'm going to go to Xavier's call right now. I don't care if I'm late, Al. What's Alex going to do? Xavier, welcome to the Pet Show. Hi, Xavier. How are you? Oh, now you disappeared on me? Alex. Oh man, sorry. I wanted to take his call. His Xavier was asking me how his French dog makes a depressed face after their walks. It's hard to tell a depressed face from a happy face on a French bulldog. Come on now. But the bottom line is dogs really enjoy their walks. You hear me say all the time that when you take your dog for a walk, it in fact is your dog's walk. They enjoy it. So very often, it was when I was a kid, if I went to a carnival or I went to an amusement park and I was having a great time, when I came home, my face would probably look a little sad as well. I don't think there's anything to be worried about. I think the dog's enjoying his walks. Maybe you should give his walks a little bit longer, and that will help. But don't worry about his depressed look. He's not depressed. He still loves you, I promise. He just wants his walks to be a little bit longer. And I appreciate that phone call. I do have an open line now. Great time to call me. 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I was expecting more people to respond to whether or not you accommodate your lifestyle for your dogs and your cats. Do you not go out at night? Do you come home earlier? Do you eat at a certain time? Do you make sure you're home to feed them? Make sure you're home to walk them? Do you change your life because of your dogs and cats? You should. Give me a call. Let me know. I'll send you a great gift. You just heard me give away some hugs and kisses. I got Lucy pet food to give away, kitty lickies, copies of my best-selling books, those amazing T-shirts that say none of my friends walk upright. Such great stuff. Great time to call me, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. A quick break. Before I go to break, I want you to hear, let me just share this with you, something I put together this week, and I see if I want to get your response to it, okay? Catching your dog doing the right things, the behaviors you want your dog to do, and rewarding them is much more important than reacting to the unwanted behaviors. Focus on the good things, the right things, and your dog will be a lot more apt to do them rather than focusing on all of the things that you believe are negative. Quick break, then right back to your calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show. We're going to break for the top of the hour, so I'm going to rush in. When we come back, Kathy, Beverly, Debbie, got some great gifts for you guys as well. Someone was asking me about what my thoughts on Westminster were. You know, years ago, I would broadcast from Westminster when I was living in New York every year with Roger Karras, and remember this name, Joe Garagiola, and I was the expert commentator sitting alongside of them. It's an interesting show, and I'm not an abolitionist. I'm not against all breeding, but I do believe, and thank God nowadays there are so many other media outlets out there and media opportunities for people to show the amazing what I call blended breeds, those dogs that were not going to go to Westminster. They're not purebred dogs. So there are great TV shows out there now, great shows taking place all over the country where those generic or blended breeds have an opportunity to get seen and hopefully find homes. And if you're thinking about a dog, you know, remember this. I always said it. You don't fall in love with the outside. You fall in love with the inside. That's the way it works. Let me take a quick break for the top of the hour. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. I'm Warren Eckstein, and yes, you are listening to The Pet Show.
stumble, but we haven't yet. Your dog is barking, your cat missed the box. Your ferret's chewed up all your favorite socks. You sure knows how to get inside your pet's head. But maybe it's you who needs to be trained instead.
And welcome back. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is the Pet Show, America's first and only real pet psychology, pet training, behavior, lifestyle show. If you live with a dog or cat and you want to find out why they behave the way they do, or you just want to understand them a little bit better, you adore them, you love them, you may be a little bit confused about their behavior, they're chewing, they're jumping, they're barking, they're digging. Your cat's not using the litter box, doesn't get along with the other cat. Your dog hates the dogs when you take them for a walk in the neighborhood. If you have a question about your dog or cat, that's what this show's all about. We've been talking to you now for 43 years. So if you have a question or a comment, great time to call me. If you're new to the Pet Show, everyone that calls in and talks to me live will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. Many of them worth $30, $40, even $50. So if you have a question, if you have a comment, great time to call me. The phone number here at the Pet Show, 870 KRLA. That's 866-870-5752, 866-870-5752. I got lots of great stuff to give away, plenty of time to answer all of your pet and animal questions. My question of the day is, do you adjust your life to accommodate your dogs and your cats? Let me just share this with you and I'll get right to the phones, I promise, okay? Dog guardianship has several benefits for people, psychological and physical health. However, relationships with dogs are complex and can involve some conflicts. I wrote this week just for you guys. The holistic view on dog guardianship indicates that, as happens in relationships with people, pet guardians' connections with their dogs can also have ups and downs depending on their psychological state, their dog's behaviors, and the environment. For example, I've spoke to people that really want to love their dog, but the dog has some behavioral issues, and therefore they're just not able to get to the relationship they want to have. So that's the bottom line. The people look at their dog and they want perfection. Until you're perfect, don't look at your dog that way. But that prompted my question. Do you adjust your life to accommodate your dogs and cats? Give me a call. I'll send you a great gift. The phone number, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Let's start off with Kathy in Winnetka. Hey, Kathy, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi there, Warren. Great to talk to you again.
Well, same here. What can I do for you today?
I have a 13-year-old Maltese who is recently, he goes everywhere with me. Everywhere. Work, play, everywhere. And he does go to my job, and the employer just recently got a little Shih Tzu puppy. It's now about 26 weeks. It hasn't been fixed yet, and it is chasing, or actually biting, my Maltese's tail when they play, and literally body checking him. And I've tried to stop the behavior. I've tried saying no, and it's just not working.
But the puppy, but it's not your dog doesn't have the problem, correct?
Right.
It's the puppy that has the problem.
Right.
So has your boss decided to get involved with educating the dog at all? With teaching the dog positives versus negatives? Because what's happening right now is the dog, it's a puppy, 26 weeks old, you said. It's a puppy.
Yes.
It's getting into
Yes.
mischief. It's jumping on people,
Yes.
whatever it's doing. What's happening right now is the dog is at 26 weeks. That's what, how many months? 26 weeks, dog.
Well, I can't hear you.
I'm talking to myself. I'm trying to do math in my head, which is a really stupid thing for me to try to do. Alex, how many months? 26 weeks. Come on, hurry up, Alex. Let's go.
About 6, almost 6.
There you go. And the reason I'm bringing this up, okay, is dogs go through the same stages of growth that people do: neonatal, imprint, juvenile, and adult. Okay, at this age right now, we're dealing with a dog that's kind of coming out of those imprint stages and getting into the juvenile stages. This is where the training and the education needs to come in. Right now, the dog doesn't know what's right and what's wrong. So the dog, this pure puppy, is getting more attention for doing things wrong than for doing things good. good. What you need to do, this is not a problem with your dog, have your boss try to start working with the dog, educate the dog, train the dog so the dog knows how to behave. Because right now, everything like you just said, the dog's doing this wrong. He's hearing no, 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 no. He's going to think that's his name after a while. Rather than focus, like I just said, rather than focus on the things the dog's doing wrong, let's take the time to focus on what he's doing right and teach him right from wrong at this point. That's what training is all about. It's not just a matter of resolving issues, which a good part of what I do is, but it's also a matter of educating, a matter of teaching them right from day one what's right or wrong. This is a young puppy. Let's teach him right. Let's teach him wrong. Also, I give the puppy the opportunity to play with your dog on neutral territory, maybe a little bit outside the office would be beneficial as well.
Okay, I'll try that. By the way, the Lucy Pet treats, he loves them. My Maltese loves them.
Well, you know, go ahead.
And also, you know, he also started eating. He had a bad tooth, and the vet took care of it. But suddenly he's been trying to eat the puppy's hard food. And he's normally eating wet because he's got very few teeth left. But he's suddenly eating the puppy's dry food.
The food, so listen, no matter who you are, no matter what you do, the food in the dish alongside of you always looks better than your own. Just the way it is. Listen, yeah, I can go to a restaurant. I can go to a restaurant with Denise, and whatever she ordered always looks better than what I ordered. So it's of course he's going to try it. You know, he's the older dog. There's a new kid on the block. He's got this new food. I'm going to go over and grab some. I would not to worry about it at all.
Oh, I ended up buying him some senior hard food to see if he would like it.
What about the Lucy hard food?
I was not able to find it in a small enough bag. I was looking for a smaller bag.
Well, I'm going to say we're going to send you a bag, small, medium. I don't know what they're going to send you, but they're going to send you some type of bag. So let me do this, Kathy. I'm going to put you on hold. We're going to send you some Lucy pet food for your dog, and I appreciate that phone call. Now, let me just take this second here, because coming up next week, I am doing something I've never done before. I've done pretty much everything. I've jumped out of airplanes. I've done this, everything, but I've never done this before. Coming up next week on The Pet Show, a very, very special pet show. Everything you didn't want to know about your pet's food. Do you hear me? Everything you didn't want to know about your pet's food. Because next Saturday, I will be broadcasting live from the $1 Million Pet Food Safety Lab at Lucy Pet Foods plant right here in Southern California. Do you hear me right? The $1 Million Pet Food Safety Lab at Lucy Pet Foods plant. That's how much they care. I'll be speaking with their CEO, a friend of mine, and someone is passionate about your animals as I am. I'll be speaking with my friend Joey Herrick, CEO of Lucy Pet Products, with his amazing knowledge of the pet food industry and what you really need to know. There's a lot of stuff out there that most people have no idea that's going on in the pet food industry. Some of it is pretty disgusting and pretty horrible. That's why I want to do this. I'll also be speaking not only with Joey Herrick, I'll be speaking with Steve Lanetta, who's the head of the lab as well. I want you to find out what pet guardians really need to know about their pet's food. You know, you see these great commercials on TV. You can go to the supermarket and see these beautiful colored things. But do you really know? Do you really know about pet food? Well, next week, do not miss the Pet Show. I'll try to take some of your calls as well, but next week I will be broadcasting this show and my nationally syndicated show on next Saturday from Lucy Pet Food Manufacturing Plant. And I'm going to say this 10 times today. Their $1 Million Pet Food Laboratory. What other pet food companies can say that? A $1 Million Pet Food Laboratory where everything is tested to make sure it's as safe as it can possibly be for your dogs and cats. How safe is it? Well, let me tell you. I feed it to my dogs every single day. Great time to give me a call here on The Pet Show, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. The question of the day is pretty simple. Do you adjust your lifestyle to accommodate your pets? Let me check out with Beverly right now. Hey, Beverly, welcome to the show.
Hi, Warren. I love
Beverly.
the show, and thanks for all you do.
Well, I appreciate that. How can I help you today?
Okay, so this question is so amazing. I absolutely adjust my life to my dog. I've started now, even like leaving work on my lunch, going home to feed her. I mean, I'm just like running and just making all sorts of adjustments. But when I look at her little face and how happy she is, it's all worth it.
Yeah, you know, it is. It's just amazing. In other words, maybe it's just me, but just seeing my pets, and I've had, you know, as many as, God, probably 100 all at one time at my sanctuary years ago. Just seeing them comfortable, just seeing them smile is worth making whatever adjustments I had to make. Listen, I had 2 900-pound pigs living on Long Island. And when they were young, it was one thing. I convinced people they were rare dogs from Hungary. But as they got bigger and bigger and bigger, I couldn't convince even Long Islanders aren't that gullible. So to accommodate my 2 pet pigs, Spotty and Corky, I bought a place in upstate New York. I was real poor at the time. Imagine buying 5 acres of property with a house and a barn for $29,000. You can tell what kind of house I was living in up there. But the bottom line is, every time I came up and I looked at Spotty's face and I looked at Corky's face and they smiled, I knew the accommodations I made for them were exactly what I wanted to do. I feel, and I go, this is my eccentricity, but I feel more comfortable when I know that the animals I'm living with are comfortable as well. It's just the way it is.
Absolutely, because a happy animal is going to make you happy too. I just believe I'm a true believer that when you make that commitment to take on an animal, those are the things that's going to come along. I don't know how anyone couldn't possibly make adjustments in their lives for their pet.
And that's why I always tell people, listen, you know, there's no such thing as a revolving pet mentality. When a pet comes into, and I say this all the time, once a pet comes into my house, whatever kind, it could be a snake, a goat, whatever. Once they come into my house and they kiss me once and they poop, that's it. Sold. They're with me for life, just the way it is. And you're so important, exactly what you're saying. You adjust your life because to many pet guardians, our pets are no different than other family members, whether they walk upright or not. We want to make sure they're as happy and as comfortable as they can possibly be, because what other part of the family gives you as much joy, as much pleasure, and less aggravation than your dogs and cats?
Yeah, true. I mean, right. And right now it's just me and my puppy. I have no children or anything, and so she's it for me. So, like I said, we make each other happy, and that's what it's all about.
What kind of puppy do you have, Beverly?
You know, she is a rescue. Her mom was found underneath a car, and she was given birth, and I'm not sure. I know the mother is Papillon, but I'm not sure what she is. She weighs like 4.5 pounds.
Yeah, and what difference does it make? She's a blended breed. You love her. Who cares what they look like? Listen, I would have never got married if people cared what I look like. Come on, looks are not that important.
I pick her up all the time, and I tell her she's mixed with love. And she's
there
got these
you
cute
go.
Little curly
little love here, a little. Anyway, listen, Beverly, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold. I'm going to send you for your dog. I am going to send you also some Lucy pet food. And when you hear me broadcasting live next week from their plant right here in Southern California, from the Lucy plant, you'll see exactly what separates Lucy pet food from the rest. Because there's a lot of things going on in the pet food industry that even I don't know about. You know, I've been in this industry for a lot of years, but that's not my forte. I can tell you what foods are good. Bottom line is, speaking to Joey Herrick next week and also speaking to Steve, they'll be able to explain to you so much of the negative things that you don't know about what's going on in the pet food world. By the way, great. I'm going to get to you, I promise, Debbie. Great time to give me a call. I got 2 up. It's pretty rare that there's an open line on the Pet Show. I got lots of stuff to give away. If you have a question or a comment, what do you think about electronic shock collars for dogs? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? What do you think about the Westminster Kennel Club? Do you like watching it? Do you think there should be more exposure for generic breeds than just the pure breeds? I love to hear from you. Everyone that calls in and talks to me will get a fabulous gift for their dog or cat. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Even if you just want to let me know about how you adjust your life. Do you leave work earlier? Do you come home from a restaurant a little bit earlier? Do you make plans differently because you have a dog and cat at home? Give me a call. If you get through, a great gift will be on its way to you. 866-870-5752. 866-870-KRLA. A quick break, then right back to your calls. You know, for quite a while now, and we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. Great time to give me a call. If you just want to answer my question, do you adjust your lifestyle to your pets? I'd love to hear from you as well. I'd love to hear from some people that may have rescued a dog or rescued a cat. And the reason I bring that up is that, you know, I get calls and emails and texts all week long because I'm doing shows all over the country and other parts of the world as well. And so many people just assume that if they go out, and they hear this all the time, if they adopt a shelter dog, if they adopt a rescue cat, they come with baggage. It's not the right thing to do. You're going to have all kinds of problems, and I say BS to that. So I would love to hear from you. I'm going to put this plea out right now. If you have adopted a dog or rescued a cat or rescued a dog, and that dog or cat turned out to be one of the most amazing living things you've ever lived with, I want to hear from you. I want to send you a great gift. And the reason I want to hear from you, and I say this every week, but it's really, really critical. Sometimes people are on the fence. And if they can hear a positive story from one of my listeners about an adoption or a rescue that you did, it can be just enough to make that difference where they can say, you know what? Rather than go to the beach today, I know it's a nice day, how about we shoot over to the shelter, see what type of pets are available, and how about we save a life? What a great thing to do. What an amazing thing to do. So I would love to hear from some of my listeners that may have adopted, rescued, fostered, sheltered. Give me a call. I'd love to hear from you right now. The phone number 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752, 866-870-KRLA. That is the way to get through. And as I said, I got all natural herbal flea spray to give away. I've never really given that away before. I got hemp seed oil. You just heard me give away some Lucy pet food, kitty lickies for those cat people out there, Hugs and Kisses, Arthrosuit Gold, copies of my best-selling books, hemp seed oil, plenty of time for your calls, lots of great stuff to give away as well. And let me just share this also. So many of you go to shelters. Never judge dogs or cats solely on their shelter behaviors. Abandonment is very, very, very stressful, confusing, challenging, scary, and heartbreaking all at once. So never judge what you see behind the cage of the shelter. Could be an entirely different personality once he gets a little freedom and understands that he's loved as well. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870-5752. I am so looking forward to next week's broadcast because so many people have no idea. I watch these commercials on dog. I saw a commercial the other day for a dog food company, and they said, oh yeah, feed this to your dog to live to be 23 years old, 21 years old. That Irish Wolfhound over there is 26 years old. Let me tell you, I've been doing this for a few years. I don't know any Irish Wolfhound that's 26 years old. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number, 866-870. Let's go to Debbie right now in Santa Clarita. Hey, Debbie, welcome to the Pet Show.
Good afternoon, Warren.
How are you today?
I'm good, thank you, and I hope you are as well.
Perfect.
We have a male 9-month-old boxer. He is in training for sit, stay, all that good stuff. However, the issue is we take him for a walk, the minute he sees another dog, he starts barking and growling, and his hair goes up on his neck. He jumps up on me. This morning, he just bit my finger, trying to hold him back. And
Debbie, how old did you say he was?
He's 9 months.
And what's his name?
Tyson.
Tyson, like Mike. All right, so here's my question to you. You say you're going through training. Do you have a trainer coming to your home? Are you going to a training class? How are you doing the training?
We're going to a training class. However, they've not addressed the socializing of the dogs. He is behind a barrier in the class because when the minute he sees another dog, he just goes crazy.
You know, I would never have a gray hair. I was the head instructor for the YMCA for many, many years, and I would sometimes have classes with 100 dogs in it. I had an assistant, so it's not just me. A couple of things going on here. When someone says to me, their dog is well behaved and he knows how to sit and he knows how to stay, he knows how to lie down, he knows how to come, and he can probably sing 3 choruses of Ave Maria, that doesn't help you when you take him for a walk and he sees another dog. That's why, number one, the first thing you want to do is teach the dog how to react without distractions, which you kind of do. I can't believe the trainer has him behind a barrier. How is that not confronting the situation? How is by avoiding a situation? There's no really great results with avoidance training. In order to resolve an issue with a dog or a human being, you have to confront the issue. The trainer should be confronting the issue rather than avoiding the issue. That's number one. Number two is if the dog understands the basics, the sit, the stay, the heel, that's important. And I know he's doing it perfectly in your backyard when there's nothing around, but he sees another dog, and then you start saying, Knock it off. Be quiet. Let's go. You're driving me crazy. You're pulling him on his leash. What do you think you're doing? You're actually getting the dog more excited, which is going to create more of a scenario where the dog's going to react to your excitement with his own excitement. So what's the best way to resolve this? Did I lose her? I don't see her out there. Oh, God, I lost. Call me back. Anyway, to finish my response to you, what you need to do is once the dog understands the alphabet, heel, sit, stay down, and come, then you need to start gradually using that in situations that are really going to be situations that you confront, like taking him for a walk or going to a park or going to a store or going to a beach. That's all really critical stuff. So what I'm suggesting that you do, and I hope you're still listening, what I'm suggesting that you do is take your basic training and now start putting into practical situations. So if you're taking your dog for a walk and he sees another dog and he's barking and jumping up and down and you're yelling, no, 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 don't. Keep walking. Don't stop. Don't say no. Don't say yes. Don't sing him a song. Just keep walking. Because the minute you pay attention to him, whether it's negative attention or positive attention, you're reinforcing that behavior. And I'm going to get to you, Andrea and Dennis, in just a second. Let me just stress this for the record, because this is really critical. Oh, I got to take a break. I'll address it when I come back. I want to give you my general idea about training. We're very lucky to be living here in Southern California. We have some amazing trainers and behaviorists living here, but we also have some people that are absolutely moronic when it comes to working with dogs. They take a course, they do it for 3 or 4 weeks, and they think they're the best. Well, they're not. We'll take a look at that. Continue answering your questions at 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. Come back, Dennis and Andrew. We'll get to your calls. So we got plenty of time for your calls. Lots of great stuff to give away. Right now, though, I want to tell you about my friends at Delta Rescue. We just talked about it. So all you got to do is look in their eyes, and it's done. You're in love. Hey, we are back on the Pet Show. I'm Warren Eckstein. 866-870-5752, the phone number. One of the people watching the YouTube feed, youtube.com/Warren Eckstein, I think that French bulldogs always look like they're sad. They kind of have that face. And again, I'm going to stress this. If you're not following me on YouTube, it doesn't cost you anything. And the reason I say that, I put tips there every day. Some of the tips are just 1-minute tips. Some of them are short. Some of them are longer. Lots of great information there. I can't give it to you all every Saturday. So subscribe. It's youtube.com/my name, Warren Eckstein. youtube.com/Warren Eckstein. I'm going to get to Dennis, Andrea, Jerry, and Debbie. I'll get back to you, Debbie, in a second. But let me just share this with you. I saw this and I had to share it. If you give your cat catnip, or if your cat is lying on his back listening to the doors, staring at a lava lamp, there's more to catnip than just the buzz. Flowering herb that makes some cats go wild actually triggers the reward system in the brain of cats. But that's not the main function. The main function is probably to ward off mosquitoes and other pets. Thanks to a compound that I can't pronounce, catnip does double duty by causing some cats to feel good while protecting them at the same time. So the main reason that cats are attracted to catnip is not just because of the little buzz they get, but they're also attracted to catnip because it helps them repel fleas and other insects out there. I always told you, our cats know a little bit better than we do. Let me get back to Debbie quickly. Hi, Debbie. You still with me? Debbie.
Hi, Warren.
Okay. Why'd you hang up on me, Debbie? Shame on you.
Oh, I'm sorry. My cell phone. This is a bad connection. I hope you can hear me.
Oh, I can hear you right now. I can hear you fine now. So anyway, the call is that, it's important for a trainer or behaviorist, if they're working with someone's dog, they want to establish the best possible relationship between the dog and the guardian as they possibly can. What your trainer is doing by separating the dog, and it's difficult because he's doing a group or she's doing a group class. By separating the dog, she's actually creating or he's actually creating more of a problem than he's resolving. Because the more the dog is kept away from the scenario where the dog isn't responding properly, how is the dog going to learn how to respond properly? Sometimes trainers overtrain. I did a segment on this not that long ago where I actually had to go in and untrain dogs that were overtrained. Yours not that situation. What you need to do is solidify your basic training, take them out, take him to an area where there may be other dogs at a distance, gradually start working on his obedience little by little in those areas, and eventually he'll get the idea to respond. But the worst thing you can do is overreact, because if you overreact to the dog when he's responding in a negative way, you're reinforcing that behavior, just wanting him to do it more. Some good basic training, that's what you need to do, little at a time, and you should be fine.
Yeah. Well, it's a scary situation, such as this morning when I did walk him, and he sees a dog across the street. I live on a paseo, and there's dogs constantly, and he just goes absolutely nuts.
But it's not his problem. It's not the dog's problem. The dog was never educated properly. Don't expect your kids to read if you don't teach them the alphabet. So it's no different. Let's give this dog I know it's scary, but let's give this dog every opportunity. And by opportunity, I mean maybe that training away from home is not the way to approach it. Maybe you should have someone come into your home for a few lessons to work with the dog and actually work with the dog in the area, in the situations that you confront on a regular basis. On my old Ford, I had almost 300,000 miles because I would never take a dog away to be trained unless it was military police. I would always go to people's homes. I wanted to work with the family. I want to work with the people next door, the grandmother, the uncle. That's what needs to be done. You need someone to come in and work with you in the area where the problems are. I can hear in your voice you're getting frustrated. And when people get frustrated, usually it affects the dog. It's not fair to the dog that your frustration should affect him. What you need to do do is find a different approach to it. This is a 9-month-old boxer. Amazing breed of dog. Boxers are just amazing. I
Yes.
worked with them in Europe. I did Schutzhund training, ring sport training, every type
He's
of
a wonderful dog.
Yeah, so in other words, he's a wonderful dog with a problem, and we're not resolving the problem, so let's not victimize the dog. I would recommend, if possible, I don't know your financial situation, but if you can find someone to come in that's going to do a gentle working with you, with the dog, in your environment, I think you'll be better off that way.
Okay, I appreciate that. I will definitely look into that.
Yeah,
Will.
absolutely. And this is nothing against the person training because he's doing a group, but I understand. A lot of people just don't understand the concept that by avoiding a situation, it doesn't resolve a situation. It just makes it more where the dog's going to react even stronger because he's unaware of what's going to be taking place. Common sense.
Okay,
anyway, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold. And for your 9-month-old boxer, I'm going to send you something called Arthrosuit Gold from my friends at Nature Vet. Keep those boxers' hips and joints in the best shape ever. I'm sure it'll make a difference for you. It just drives me crazy. You know, so many dogs, so many cats wind up at shelters. But, you know, a lot of dogs wind up at shelters because they're pulling, they're jumping up and down, they're aggressive or assertive towards other dogs. We got to take the time to educate them. I mean, I'm so sick of trainers with the electronic collars and these spike collars and the prong collars, forcing the dog to react rather than taking the time to educate. That's the new term. I've been using it for years. It's not just a matter of training. You need to take the time to educate your pets. Let me take another phone call right now. Let's go to Dennis in Castaic. Hey, Dennis, welcome to the Pet Show. Hey, Dennis.
Hey, I wanted to tell you that people should be rest assured about rescuing animals. We've done multiple in my house after having purebreds for years. And with just a little training, they're just as wonderful and loving as any dog I've ever had.
Yeah, who cares what a dog looks like once you fall in love with him, right?
You got that right.
What kind of purebred dogs did you have in the past?
Long-haired miniature dachshunds.
Oh, they're adorable. People don't know they come in long hair, short hair, and the wire hairs are adorable as well.
A couple months ago, I put one down. He was 18 years old, Nicholas.
God bless him. God bless him. So how many dogs do you have now?
All right, now I have 3.
And they're all rescues?
2 of them are rescues.
And how old were they when you rescued them?
They were probably 8 and 10 weeks old. They came from a shelter.
So they were puppies when you got them. Well, you're absolutely right.
The biggest problem I had with just one of them was teaching them how to eat slow because remember they were in a shelter, so it was first come first serve in the eating.
Well,
department.
then here's what you do: feed him out of 2 or 3 dishes instead of 1 dish. Make him stop, take a breath, and move over to another dish.
Oh, I've already learned that from you. She's good now.
There you go. See? Oh, give me some credit when I deserve it.
Yeah.
Anyway, listen, you give those puppies a hug and a kiss. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you got a bunch of dogs there. I'm going to send you some Lucy pet food as well. I know, Joey, I'm giving a lot of your stuff away today, but they need it. 866-870-KRLA. Let me take a quick break. When we come back, we have Jerry, Andrea, and Andrea? And Jerry, we'll get to your calls right after this. My eyes are going on me. A quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I'm Warren Eckstein. This is The Pet Show. And we are back on the Pet Show on Warren X. That was my friend Joey Herrick talking. Remember, next week, an incredibly special show. The most important thing that you need to know when you have a dog or a cat that lives with you is how to keep them healthy. What you feed them is critical. There's a lot of misconceptions out there about pet food. There's a lot of bad pet food out there. You're not going to want to miss next week's show. I'll be broadcasting live from the $1 million pet food safety lab at Lucy Pet Food Plant right here in Southern California. It's going to be an incredible show, really important for everyone out there that loves their dog or cat and wants to really understand pet food and what it's all about and what you really need to know. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Just before we get back to the phones, Andrea, Jerry. So, you want to make a couple of bucks. Alex, you want to make a couple of bucks, Alex? Did you know? You have cats, so this doesn't apply to you. But in Oakland, California now, there's a company buying dog poop. I'm not making this up. East Bay dog and cat owners might be able to turn their pets' rear ends into mini ATM machines thanks to local biotech firms' call for fresh fecal deposits. Animal Biome in Oakland is asking people to contribute healthy pet poop to its stool bank. You heard me right. Its stool bank program, and is willing to shell out $100 per month for every fur baby it enrolls. The 6-year-old company uses carefully screened feces from healthy pets to support ailing cats and dogs suffering from issue-related microbiome imbalances in the gut. So it's kind of an interesting approach. So it's kind of a funny story. They're buying poop, but at the same time, they're experimenting and using poop to help other animals. So it's kind of interesting. So how much is the poop? Oh, $100. $100 for each pet. Could have retired. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA. Let's go to Northridge and Andrea. Hi, Andrea. Welcome to the Pet Show.
Hi.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm super. What's up?
Oh, I can hardly hear you. How weird. Hello?
I'm here.
I'm good. How are you?
I'm great. What's you want to tell me a rescue story? Go for it.
Yes, I have 4 rescue dogs. My last one I got from an agency in Sherman Oaks that specialized in dogs saved from slaughterhouses. And I fostered her, and then she ended up being a foster fail. And I love her. She's the best. But it took a long time for her personality to come out.
Yeah, people don't understand it. They just think they want. You know what often happens is people that have lived with a dog for a bunch of years and then they decide to go out and rescue or adopt a dog. Bless them for doing that. But they try to make that comparison with pets they've had in the past. And you can't do that. Every dog is different. Every background they've gone through is different. And sometimes it does take them a little time to adjust. But once they do, I tell you, they pay you back every day for the rest of their lives, don't they?
Oh, she's a love. And we have 4 rescue dogs, all from local. So, yeah, she's the 4th, and I think that's the limit. So that's it for now.
But, you know, it's also interesting that living here in Southern California, you know, I do my national show after this, and I'm talking to people in the outside in small Missouri towns and small Arkansas towns and Alabama towns and little towns, and they don't have the same exposure and the same availability to things that we have. And when I hear the stories about people just taking 3-4 dogs and just dumping them off on the street somewhere and letting them go, and thank God for people like you that
breaks my heart.
that understand rescue.
I wish I could have more, but
don't we all? Don't we all? I mean, the most I ever had at one time was 36.
We always said we would never have more than 3, but the one with I started volunteering, and the animals are rescued from China. They pull on your heartstrings.
No, listen, one of my nephews rescued a dog from South Korea, and that same nephew just rescued a 3-year-old pit bull. So it's genetic in my family. It really is. Anyway, listen, don't go anywhere. I'm going to put you on hold, and I am going to send you for your pets. You have 4 rescued dogs. I am going to send you. You know what? I think I'm going to send you some all-natural herbal flea spray from my good friends over at Nature Vet, and I appreciate that phone call. 866-870-KRLA. I saw this quote the other day. Let me just share it with you. In an age where pets are the new children and household plants are the new pets, the new household hierarchy signifies a shift in our priorities for our fur kids, and how true that is. Let me go to, let's go to Downey. Jerry. Hey, Jerry, welcome to the Pet Show.
Hey, Warren. Great to talk to you.
Same here. What's up?
Well, first of all, I want to tell you that I think one of my cats has a dog disease.
A dog disease?
Yes. I think he has arthritis. Because he limps.
He does limp.
Excuse me?
He limps, your dog?
My cat limps.
Oh, your cat, really?
So I think he's got arthritis.
Well, yeah, arthritis. You're probably right. And, and I'm going to send you something for that as well. I'm going to send you an amazing product called ArthroSoothe Gold, manufactured right here in Southern California in Temecula.
That'll work for cats?
Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's an amazing. In fact,
great.
next week they have a whole new line of stuff coming out, and next week I'll start talking about that a little bit more.
But I did want to call and say that I will not go out the back door if my cats are in the basket, laying in the basket, because I don't want to disturb them.
I am exactly the same way. It's interesting. It's interesting. I guess I shouldn't tell you these things, but everyone thinks, oh man, Warren's dogs, man, it's got to be like living with Lassie and Benji and Boomer. I don't want my dogs well behaved. I want them behaved, not well behaved. I want my dogs to look at me once in a while and say, hey, Warren, you talking to me? I let them live their lives. I'm so sick and tired of these trainers and a dog has to listen all the time. We say, sit, stay. They're like no, let the dog enjoy life. Yeah, they have to be educated, but let them enjoy life a little bit at the same time. So we're going to send you some ArthroSoothe Gold. Have you always had cats, Jerry?
Yes.
You're a cat lady, huh? You know what? I'm going to take that back. I'm not going to send you the ArthroSoothe Gold. I'm going to, you can get the ArthroSoothe Gold at any place. I'm going to put you on hold, and I want to send you something different. I'm going to put you on hold, send you some kitty lickies, because once your cat is on kitty lickies, you're going to find out exactly how much they love it. I know, Alex, I got to take another break. We'll get to your calls. Phone number here, 866-870-KRLA, 866-870-5752. You've heard me talk about this in the past. Let me just talk about it again. Have you heard the term before that is IVM? IVM stands for Integrative Veterinary Medicine. Just like with people are going through Reiki, crystals, acupuncture, acupressure. It's a connected universe, and I think more and more people, veterinarians in the veterinary field, are going through an integrative approach using both conventional and complementary, and I think that's a good thing. 866-870-KRLA, the phone number. Let me take a quick break, then right back to your phone calls. I want you to listen to me carefully. I'm going to talk about my own hugs and And we are back on the Pet Show. Ruth, Lisa, Barbara, I'm not going to have time to take a call, but write this number down. You can call the national show starting at 1 o'clock. Be patient. It goes to Washington, D.C., to Radio America, same type of show. I give away the same gifts. You can call there. That goes to everyone out there. By the way, my California calls will be up first because the show doesn't start till 5 after. So if you start calling at 1, you'll be ahead of the crowd. The phone number for the network show starting at 1 o'clock, 877 725 8255. 877 725 8255. 877 725 8255. I see that Lisa's up there. Lisa from Hawthorne is saying, "Well, I make an appearance so that fans can meet me." I used to make so many different appearances. Next week, I'm going to be broadcasting from Lucy Pet Food, but that's not a place where you would want to come. I'm going to be doing it from inside the studio. I will be taking questions though. Maybe I will. You know, I haven't done a place where I can meet and greet my listeners, and I don't call them fans, my listeners. We're just big animal lovers. So maybe if there's a group out there that wants to put something together, Rescue's having a big event, and they can put it all together, maybe I will shoot that, because I'd love to meet you guys. I love meeting not only you, I love meeting your pets. Write this number down. Start calling now, 877-725-8255. Until next week, give all your pets a big hug and a kiss for you, one between the ears for me. I'm Warren Eckstein, and thank you so much for listening to The Pet Show.